सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। जीवन मुक्ति, one of the inexplicable states. The state of Brahman itself is inexplicable, but a person who has realized Brahman still appears to be living in the world is even more difficult to explain. That is the topic that we are seeing. Today we will be concluding the topic of Jivan Mukti and entering into the final topic of Videha Mukti. We have seen so far the Guru in Vivekachoodamani has explained how this Jivan Mukta is not touched by any of the karmas. Sanchita and Agami is destroyed. Prarabdha may appear to be remaining but has no impact on the Jnani. Then the Jivan Mukti Avastha itself was explained as an expression of the student who has realized. Student also, expressed his gratitude towards the teacher. And now we are into the last section where the teacher is giving the final concluding remarks, so to say, on Jivan Mukti and then on Videha Mukti. So in the last session we saw some of the facets of this Jivan Mukti, right, as we have been continuing for a long time. Now we will see some more facets. Let us see verse number 551. Srotasa niyate daru yatha nimnonnata sthalam daivena niyate dehaha यथा कालोपभुक्तिषु स्रोतसा नीयते दारु यथा निम्नोन्नतस्थलं दैवेन नीयते देहः यथा कालोपभुक्तिषु. One example that Shankaracharya gave in the previous verse was a snake that has casted away his skin. That skin appears like a snake, but is not a snake. And that snake skin, also called as sloth, keeps on moving according to the wind. Now the moving sloth may appear like a moving snake. In the same way, this jnani has realized, now jnani's body is there, the wind inside the body, which is called as prana, that prana may move the body here and there. Itastatas chalyamanaha. Okay, but that should not be considered to be the main thing, that oh, this jnani is still in the body just like us. Nah, it is just like the sloth. Now continuing that thought, further one more example Shankaracharya gives here. He says, Srotasa niyate daru. Daru means wood. Earlier also we have seen daru is not liquor. In Marathi etc. Daru means liquor. It is not liquor in Sanskrit. Daru means wood. That's why Daruka Vana. It is not forest of liquor. It is the forest where there is a lot of wood, means lot of trees are there. Okay. So Daru, just as the wooden plank, Srotasa, by the stream or the current of the river, Niyate, is taken. Where Nimna, lower, Unnata, higher, Sthalam, place. Just as a wooden plank is taken up and down by the river. You must have seen, no, in the river sometimes the plank falls. Now because it is wood, it does not drown. Right? So what does it do? It just flows with the current of the river. If the river is going upstream, it also goes upstream. If river is going down, the plank also goes down. Yatha, just as it is like this, tatha. In the same way, daivena niyate dehaha. Dehaha, body. Now that body of the jnani is compared with the wooden plank. And what is the current of the river? That current of the river is daiva. Daiva means prarabdha karma. That which has already started giving result, you see, which is already in motion. Like the river, which is already in motion. In the same way, this body is taken where yatha kala, at an appropriate time, upabhuktishu, towards the objects of enjoyment. Now think, what is happening here? When we are not realized, we have desires in mind because of our vasanas, because of which our mind has thoughts, because of which we purposely take our body towards the sense objects. I want to eat this, I want to go there, I want to do this. See what is happening? We, from inside, we are taking this body to different sense objects because of our desires born from vasanas, impressions. But here, the body is taken to the object of enjoyment by daiva, by prarabdha, not by desire. So what do you mean? Suppose it is there in the prarabdha of that jnani before realization. See, prarabdha is for the jiva. Before realization, if he has done something by which it is there in the prarabdha of that jnani will be coronated as the great mahanta or a great saint or a great king. Suppose it is there. Then what will happen? Then jnani, after realization also, the body will be ascended to that place. People will come and serve and do all these kind of things. Is that jnani wanting any of it? No. It is the prarabdha which is in motion, which will end only by exhaustion. That prarabdha is taking the body to the particular objects. Just as a wooden plank is taken up and down according to the stream or by the stream of river, by the flowing river. Okay. Now what is jnani doing? Jnani doesn't do anything. In Manisha Panchakam, another beautiful text of Shankaracharya, he uses this expression, prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu ityesha manisha mama. He says that Jnani has handed over the body to prarabdha, saying that you do whatever you want to do. Prarabdhaya samarpitam. Surrendered the body to prarabdha. Swavapuhu, one's own body. Why? Let the prarabdha take care of the body. If the body has to suffer, let it suffer. If body has to be taken care well, let it, according to prarabdha, whatever has to happen, let it happen. Okay, srotasa niyate daru yatha nimna unnata sthalam daivena niyate dehaha yatha kala upabhuktishu. Yatha kala is also important word. At an appropriate time, appropriate object will come. Why? Because we have seen prarabdha karma, or karma for that matter, is already decided what time it is going to fructify. And what is the result? Everything is decided. So at the correct time, correct object will come. Siddhasya lakshanani sadhakasya sadhanani. Don't forget. What does it mean? We also should do the same. You see, if it is there in my prarabdha, it will come to me. Why should I run behind it? By me running behind, I am not going to get anything. We get what we deserve, not what we desire. Isn't it? And therefore, if I deserve it, I will get it, even if I don't want it. So why should I run behind? So what should I do? I should keep focusing on that supreme reality. I should keep focusing on Bhagavan. And then what? Prarabdha will take care of the body. See how Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga are there. Jnana Marga says you focus on the self, Prarabdha will take care of the body. Bhakti Marga says you focus on God, God will take care of the body. Bhagavan himself says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, why are you worried? But you see, in both cases it is said that body will be taken care. You don't worry. If we start taking care of the body, we lose focus of the higher. That is very important point. See, it doesn't mean that we should not take care of the body. Don't go to other extreme. That is not the point. Do whatever is required and then leave it. See, sometimes when we have little bit of diseases coming here and there, and I don't know how many of you have observed this. When we pay too much attention, the disease doesn't go. Sometimes you just have to say, bas, enough. I am telling you by my own experience. I was suffering for a long time. I was paying attention, taking care of everything. One fine day I said, enough is enough now. I am not going to do anything. And I became fine. You never know. I am not saying that we should not take care of the body. No. Sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. That is of course there. But there is a limit to which we can do. And that is why do whatever we need to do and just move ahead. Don't focus too much on it. Okay, that is what happens to the Jnani. We also should do as a practice. Okay, now what continues further? Let us see verse number 552. Prarabdha karma parika. What is this? Prarabdha karma parikalpita vasanabhihi samsari vacharati bhuktishu mukta deha siddha swayam vasati sakshi vadatra tushnim chakrasya moolam kalpa vikalpa shunyah. Prarabdha karma parikalpita vasanabhihi samsari vacharati bhuktishu mukta deha siddha swayam vasati sakshi vadatra tushnim chakrasya moolamiva kalpa vikalpa shunyah prarabdha karma parikalpita vasanabhihi, by the vasanas, by the impressions, parikalpita, imagined, prarabdha karma, imagined by the destiny, imagined by the prarabdha karma, mukta deha, one who has freed himself from the body, samsarivat bhuktishu charati. Samsarivat, like a person who is a samsari, like a person who is transmigrating, bhuktishu, in the sense objects, amidst the sense objects, was a charati. Charati means roams. Okay. So what is said here? By the impressions, vasanas imagined by prarabdha karma, the jivan mukta, mukta deha appears, or like a transmigrating person, roams about in the sense objects. Like a transmigrating person. Very important. Samsarivat. Samsarivat means like. Means what? He is not actually transmigrating. He doesn't have actual vasanas. He doesn't have actual desires. But the prarabdha karma is making the body of the jnani go to sense objects, and therefore it appears as though he is a samsari. Therefore it appears that he is roaming about amidst the sense objects. He is enjoying. Okay, it looks like that. Then what? Siddha Swayam. Swayam Siddha. He himself is established. Where? In that supreme. And therefore Vasati. He just stays. How? Sakshivat atra. Atra, here he stays Sakshivat. Like a witness. Tushnim. Without doing anything. Kalpa vikalpa shunyah. Without any kinds of thoughts or agitations. Chakrasya moolam iva. Like the hub of the wheel. Central place of the wheel. The entire wheel rotates around the center, around the hub, but the hub does not move. It is fixed to that shaft behind, and then to accelerator, etc. The wheel moves, the central hub does not move. So see, two verbs here you focus on. Charati, vasati. First line is saying charati. Charati means roams about. How does he roam about? Samsarivat. Like a transmigrating person. But vasati, he stays. How? Sakshivat. Like a witness. Means what? It appears as though he is moving like a samsari, but actually he is just staying as a witness. Understand? In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna had asked this question to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Sita prajnasya ka bhasha. Sitadhi kim prabhasheta. Kim asita. Vrajeta kim. How does he sit? How does he roam about? Both are answers here. Both are answered here. You see? How does he sit? He sits like a witness. Uninvolved witness. Like what? Like the hub of the wheel that does not move. How does he roam? He roams as though like a samsari, but actually not attached to any objects. Okay, that is how this Jivan Mukta is. The body is taken to different sense objects by prarabdha. And therefore, because the body is taken, we think that the person is also going to those sense objects and enjoying. But please understand, it is samsarivat. He is only like a transmigrating person appears to be like that. Actually, how is he? He is just a witness, staying at one place and enjoying the entire show that the mind and the sense objects are showing to him. He is just witness. Okay, that is how he is. Remains steady. That is how he is. And see, because he is like this, therefore what? Next verse. 553. नैवेन्द्रियाणि विषयेषु नियुङ्क्त एषः नैवापयुङ्क्त उपदर्शनलक्षणस्थः नैव क्रियाफलमपीषदवेक्षते सः स्वानन्दसान्द्ररसपानसुमत्तचित्तः नैवेन्द्रियाणि विषयेषु नियुङ्क्त एषः नैवापयुङ्क्त उपदर्शनलक्षणस्थः नैव क्रियाफलमपीषदवेक्षते सः स्वानन्दसान्द्ररसपानसुमत्तचित्तः. What a beautiful poetry. न एव इन्द्रियाणि विषयेषु नियुङ्क्ते एषः. एषः हि indriyani, sense organs, vishayeshu, in the sense objects, na eva niyunkte, does not employ. He does not employ sense organs in the sense objects. Oh, Veji, he does not employ. That means he controls. Na eva upayunkte. He does not even detaches the sense objects, sense organs from the sense objects. Neither employs nor detaches. Why? Upadarshana lakshanastha. Because he is of the lakshana, nature of upadarshana, of being of the nature of a witness. See, witness, what does he do? He doesn't take part in the action. So he neither engages the organs into objects nor disengages them from the objects. He just remains a witness. Na eva, neither nor kriya phalam api ishat avekshati. Saha. Saha means he. He ishat, even a wee bit. Kriya phalam, result of the action. Na eva avekshate, does not see. Never sees the results of actions, even a wee bit. Means what? He doesn't see that, oh, this is interesting, this I am going to get, or I want that. He doesn't see that. There is also apekshate saha also is there in some pathas. Avekshate means seeing. Iksha dhatu. Okay. Ava plus iksha dhatu. Iksha means to see. Avekshate. Apekshate does not expect. It's also correct patha. He does not expect a particular result from any particular action. So he neither employs the organs into objects, nor does he withdraw the organs from the objects, remains as a witness and does not see or expect any kind of result from any kind of action. Why? Last. Swa ananda sandra rasapana sumatta chittaha. Chittaha. Actually, chittam is napumsakalingi shabda. But here we are talking about a person who has such mind. Bahuri samasa. Therefore, chittaha means a person who has got this kind of chitta, this kind of mind. What kind of mind? Sumatta. Sumatta means intoxicated. Matta sumatta means intoxicated. The mind which is intoxicated, see, to be intoxicated you have to drink something. Yes, rasapana, because he has drank the essence. Essence of what? Swa ananda sandra, abundant bliss of the self. The mind has drank the essence of the abundant bliss of the self, and therefore mind is intoxicated by the bliss of the self, and therefore does not employ the sense organs into sense objects, nor does withdraw them, doesn't take part into any kind of action, doesn't even expect any kind of result of action. That is what this jnani is. What a beautiful way of explaining. Swananda Sandra Rasapana Sumatta Chittaha. He is so intoxicated, his mind is so intoxicated by the drink of abundant bliss of the self that the mind is not available for all the useless worldly things. So therefore, does not engage into any kind of action, does not disengage from any action. That is how this jnani is. Imagine the kind of freedom that the jnani has. We are always bound by so many things. He is absolutely free. That is what he is. Now what? Next verse. 554. Lakshya lakshagatim tyaktva yastishtet kevalatmana Shiva eva swayam sakshat ayam brahma viduttamaha lakshya lakshagatim tyaktva yastishtet kevalatmana Shiva eva swayam sakshat ayam brahma viduttamaha. The last verse of Jivan Mukti, explanation of Jivan Mukti. Bhashakara says, Lakshya alaksha gatim tyaktva. Tyaktva, giving up. Giving up what? Lakshya alaksha gatim. Anxiety for reaching the goal. Lakshya alaksha, not reaching the goal. Giving up all kinds of anxiety, whether I will be liberated or not, whether I will reach or not, has given up all kinds of worry, anxiety. Yah tishthet kevala atmana. One who just stays as the self. Kevala atmana tishthet. Just remains as the self. Shivaha eva swayam sakshat. Swayam, he himself, is sakshat Shiva. Wah. Shivaha eva swayam sakshat. He is Lord Shiva himself. Ayam, he, this Brahma viduttamaha. The best among the knowers of Brahman, Brahmavid uttamaha. Brahmavid uttamaha. The best among the knowers of Brahman is Sakshat Lord Shiva. Okay. Advaita parampara. But for Advaita also, Lord Shiva is the Guru. Lord Shiva is the Dakshinamurti, no? So, Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam. So, Sadashiva is the Guru. So, that Shiva is not just that Lord. But this Jivan Mukta becomes the Guru. Jivan Mukta becomes Ishvara. Jivan Mukta becomes Brahman. Shiva indicates all three. See, the word Shiva itself is used for Brahman. Okay, in Upanishads, etc., you will see. Shiva as Lord also, as Ishvara also is there. As form also is there. And he is also the Guru. Now, this Jnani also becomes Shiva. Shivaha eva swayam sakshat. Now, Shiva means Brahman, Shiva means Ishvara, Shiva means Bhagavan, Shiva means Guru. Whatever you want to say, you say. He is Sakshat Shiva. Shankaram Shankaracharyam. We say already that Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji only he himself was the avatar of Lord Shiva. And now this Jnani also has become Shiva. Shivaha eva swayam sakshat. Ayam, this Brahma viduttamaha, this best among the knowers of Brahman is Sakshat Shiva, is Lord himself. Okay. So with this, the topic of Jivan Mukti is concluded. Started in verse number 419. Okay. Then we saw 60 verses of explanation of that karma and what happens to all the karmas of Jnani. Then we saw 480 up to 520, the Jivan Mukti Anubhava of the student, Sarvatma Bhava, Asangatva and Advaita Anubhava, etc. Then again the Guru concluded with last 521 to 554, last few verses. And now begins the last topic of Videha Mukti. Starts from next verse 555, goes up to 575. Okay, 21 verses, explanation of Videha Mukti. Let us see. What do you mean by Videha Mukti? जीवन्नेव सदा मुक्तः कृतार्थो ब्रह्मवित्तमः उपाधिनाशात् ब्रह्मैव सन्ब्रह्माप्येति निर्द्वयम् जीवन्नेव सदा मुक्तः कृतार्थो ब्रह्मवित्तमः उपाधिनाशात् ब्रह्मैव सन्ब्रह्माप्येति निर्द्वयम् जीवन्नेव सदा मुक्तः. A person who is जीवन्नेव while living itself sada muktah, ever liberated. One who is liberated while living means a jivan mukta person. Kritarthah, who is fulfilled. Brahmavit tamah, the best among the knowers of Brahman, who has known Brahman as one's own self. Such a person, upadhi nashat. When the upadhis, when the conditionings get destroyed, Brahmaiva san, being Brahman, Brahma appyeti, attains Brahman, nirdvayam Brahma appyeti, attains that non-dual Brahman. So, what is the distinction between Jivan Mukta and Videha Mukta? Jivan Mukta means Jivanneva Muktaha. A person who is liberated while living. While living means who is living? The upadhis are living. The body is still there. The mind is still appears to be working. And what do you mean by Videha Mukta? When that upadhis are destroyed by Prarabdha. Remember, we have already seen upadhis will continue as long as Prarabdha persists. So Prarabdha itself will take care of the upadhi and the destruction of the upadhi also. When the upadhis are destroyed, now this Jivan Mukta is already Brahman. Brahmaiva san, being Brahman, nirdvayam Brahma appyeti, attains that non-dual Brahman. Shankaracharya is actually referring to many Upanishad mantras. You must have heard this. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. From Brihadaranyaka also, Brahmaiva san Brahma appyeti. Exactly what is said here. Brahmaiva san Brahma appyeti. This phrase is from Brihadaranyaka. Being Brahman, he attains Brahman. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Other places also it is there. Chandogya also is there. No? Tasya tavadeva chiram yavanna vimokshe ata sampatsye. Waiting is till when? Only till the upadhis have not fallen. After which he becomes one with the Supreme. Mundaka Upanishad also, those who are attending will be soon taking this mantra. Comes towards the end, today or tomorrow or day after, we will be seeing this. What is that? Sayo havai tat paramam brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati na asya abrahmavit kule bhavati tarati shokam tarati pap manam guha grantibhyo vimukto amruto bhavati. Sayo havai tat paramam brahma veda, one who realizes that Supreme Brahman, brahmaiva bhavati, becomes Brahman. Okay. So, Jivan Mukta, when the upadhis fall, becomes Videha Mukta. Vedji? Yes. You just now said that Jivan Mukta becomes Videha Mukta. Array, that becoming also is not becoming. What do you mean? He is Mukta. This Jivan Mukta, Videha Mukta, these are the distinctions made by us, ignorant people. For the Jivan Mukta, for the Mukta Purusha, for that matter, there is no distinction between Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. No such distinction is there. Okay. Now that point is explained with an example in the next verse. Let us see. Verse 556. Shailusho vesha sadbhava abhavayoscha yatha puman tathaiva brahmavid shrestha sada brahmaiva naparah. First line should be chanted together without break. Then the meter will be correct. Shailusho vesha sadbhava bhavayoscha yatha puman tathaiva brahmavid shrestha sada brahmaiva naparah. Yatha, just as. Shailusha. Shailusha means actor. Yatha shailusha vesha sadbhava abhavayoho pumaneva. When he takes up a costume, abhava, or in the absence of costume, he is a person. He remains that same person. An actor remains that person with costume or without costume. With costume, he appears to be some other character. And without the costume, he appears to be normal. But actually speaking, with costume or without costume, he remains the same person. Tatha eva, in the same way, Brahmavid Shrestha, this best knower of Brahman, Sada Brahma eva, is always Brahman, na aparaha, is never anything else. Means what? He is always liberated. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa, is ever of the liberated nature. So this distinction of Brahmavid, knower of Brahman, becoming Brahman, this is not actually a distinction. That is what is trying to be, that is what he is trying to explain. Brahmavid, knower of Brahman, is Brahman. Before the fall of the body, after the fall of the body as well. So when before the fall of the body that Brahmavid is Brahman, we call it as Jivan Mukti. And after the fall of the body, when that Brahmavid is Brahman, we call it as Videha Mukti. Understand, this distinction is created by ignorant people, all of us. For that person, there is absolutely no difference. An actor is a person. In the same way, knower of Brahman is Brahman. With costume, without costume. With upadhis, without upadhis. It doesn't matter. He is Brahman. So concepts of Jivan Mukti, Videha Mukti, with upadhis, without upadhis, these are not there for Jnani. Exactly the example that we have seen earlier also so many times, sunrise, sunset. These kind of concepts are not there for the sun. They are for the us who are on the earth. We have sunrise and sunset, and therefore we have all this. For sun, what is the rise and what is the setting? There is nothing like that. In the same way, for the Jnani, there is no presence of upadhis and absence of upadhis and then falling of upadhis because of prarabdha, Jivan Mukti, Videha Mukti. All these concepts are not there for this Jnani. Okay. Now, you see, since these kind of concepts are not there for the Jnani at all, he does not care when and where the body will fall. That is the next verse. Let us see. Next few verses will explain this. Let us see one by one. 557. Yatra kvapi vishirnam sat parnamiva taror vapuh patatat brahmi bhutasya yatehe prageva tacchidagnina dagdham yatra kvapi vishirnam sat parnamiva taror vapuh patatat brahmi bhutasya yatev prageva tacchidagnina dagdham. Simple tune, because it is not in a proper meter what we know, what we chant. What is the point? Yatra kvapi, wherever, vishirnam sat, that which has dried, parnam leaf, taroho of the tree, eva like. Like the dried, like the leaf that has dried of the tree. Patatat. Wherever it falls, the tree does not care about it. Vapuhu. In the same way, Brahmi bhutasya yatehe vapuhu. In the same way, Brahmi bhutasya yatehe, for this sage yati who has become Brahman, Brahmi bhutasya, for such a person, vapuhu, body, patatat, may it fall wherever it wants to fall, yatra kwapi. Why? Prageva, before itself, tat, that body, chidagnina dagdham, it is burnt. Burnt by what? Chidagnina, by the fire of knowledge, by the fire of consciousness. The body is destroyed at the moment of realization itself for the jnani. It may continue to be there for other ignorant people. That's not his problem. But for him, the body is destroyed at the moment of realization. By the fire of knowledge, the body is burnt. And therefore, now that so-called burnt body, where it falls, how does it matter? Yatra kwapi patatat. Wherever it wants to fall, let it fall. He does not care. It doesn't matter for the tree where the dried leaf is falling. When is it falling? It does not matter. In the same way, it doesn't matter for the jnani when and where the upadhi is going to fall. Why? Because at the very moment of realization, for him, the upadhis are gone. That is it. Continues with the same thought. Let us see. Verse number 558. Sadatmani brahmani tishthato munehe.
Sadatmani brahmani tishthato munehe.
Purnadvayanandamayatmana sada. न देशकालाद्युचित प्रतीक्षा त्वं मां सविट्पिण्ड विसर्जनाय सदात्मनि ब्रह्मणि तिष्ठतो मुनेः पूर्णाद्वयानन्दमयात्मना सदा न देशकालाद्युचित प्रतीक्षा त्वं मां सविट्पिण्ड विसर्जनाय. Sadatmani. Now you see, now I am not going to explain. You are all great scholars of Sanskrit. By now you have understood. Sadatmani. Sada Atmani. In that self which is ever there. Brahmani. In Brahman. Tishtataha, one who is staying, for the one who is staying. Munehe, of that reflective person. For the reflective person who is ever abiding in the self as that Brahman. Purna Advaya Anandamaya Atmana Sada. And how is he abiding in that self, in that Brahman? Always, Sada. Sada as what? Atmana, as the self. What kind of self? Purna, infinite. Advaya, non-dual. Anandamaya, of the nature of bliss. For a person who is ever abiding in this self, which is Brahman, which is of this nature, infinite, non-dual, bliss, for such a person, na desha kaladi uchita pratiksha. Pratiksha, waiting, wait for what? Uchita, appropriate, desha, space, place, kala, time, adi, etc. No, is not there. A jnani does not wait for a right time and right place when the body should fall or where the body should fall. For what? Tvak mamsa vit pinda visarjanaya. He does not wait for what? Visarjanaya, for giving up of the body. Pinda Visarjanaya, giving up of the body. What is this body made up of? Tvak, skin, mamsa, flesh, vit. Vit means excrement, the things that are to be given out. This body is made up of all that. He does not care. He does not wait for the appropriate time or place for giving up of this body. He does not wait. See, many people have asked this question to me before. People listen to Mahabharata story, etc. And there is a famous story of Bhishma Pitamaha waiting for Uttarayana to start to give up the body. And from that there are many questions that arise, that what if we die in Dakshinayana? What about those people who have died in Dakshinayana? Do they go to the lower world only? Only people who have died in Uttarayana, will they go to... See, there is... Understand that there is nothing like that. Otherwise it will be like, 6 months only you should die, other 6 months you should not. That is not the correct way. Okay. What is indicated there is, see, he had boon of Ichcha Mrityu, that he can have choice when and how he wants to die. Okay. That is why he chose to be there till Uttarayana. Okay. That does not apply for all of us. And you see, as a matter of fact, do we have any control over how and when we are going to die? Then why to think about it? Even if we think a lot about it, let us say we do lot of research, etc. My PhD topic is going to be what time we should die. How much ever research you do, and puja and all these kind of things you do, we have no control over when and what is going to be our death. Time, what kind, we don't know. We should not think about it, worry about it at all. I am repeating again, just as for Jnani it is natural that he does not worry, for Sadhaka we have to make sure that we don't worry. Let it fall. Tanum tejatuva kasham Shvapachasya grihetava Jnana samprapti samaye muktaha asau. May that body fall in Kashi, most holy places, Varanasi, or Shvapachasya grihetava, or in a house of a dog eater. Doesn't matter. Why? Jnana samprapti samaye asau muktaha. At the moment of realization, this person has become liberated. So it doesn't matter for him. It doesn't matter for him. It should not matter for us. In any case, even if we are not liberated, we don't have control over our death. Then why to think about it? May it fall whenever, however, wherever it wants to fall. Why should we worry? So please take out this thought from your mind as to how I am going to die, what is the correct time. There is no proper time, there is nothing like that. Let us focus on the Supreme. Let us focus on Bhagavan. All other things, let it happen according to how it has to happen. Now, why to worry? When the body has to fall, it will fall. Not a moment before, not a moment after. How much ever we try to finish off the body will not end unless the prarabdha is over. Whatever we may do. I tell you, life teaches us so many things. We should have that eye of learning. We really have, we don't know anything what happens in the body. Really, we don't know anything. I remember one incident in my life where my grandmother was very ill. Paternal grandmother, father's mother. And she was in ICU for a long time. She was on ventilator for a long time. I didn't have father also at that time. He had already passed away. So there was nobody. I was there. My mother was there. Her daughter was there. And all of us were there taking care. At one point of time, the doctor came and said that you should sign the form saying that we are going to take out the ventilator. Somebody has to sign the form. Because there is no point in keeping that person alive. That person is just alive by machine. And naturally, when you have to sign on something where you are, nobody wants to take that risk, you see. So my father's sister was not ready, my mother was not ready, nobody, my grandfather was not ready to sign. So I asked doctor, I was some 19-20-year-old, I asked the doctor, what is the minimum criteria required for signing? I am 18 plus, can I sign? Because I understand only one thing, my grandmother is there but she is suffering, we don't know what is happening inside. If doctor says remove the support and she will die peacefully, let it be. Doctor knows more than all of us. So I said, I am ready to sign. I signed. In next 2 days, she was at home. She lived for another 10 years without going to hospital. We have no idea. Later on, the other doctor said that, you know why? Because of that ventilator, no, there was congestion in the chest. The moment you remove the ventilator, the natural airflow happened. Congestion was removed in 2 days. Not only in ICU, not only normal ward. She was at home, walking, doing all the work, lived for another 10 years. We have no idea what is happening with our body. It may appear like it's about to die, and that person will live forever. And you have no idea and the person dies. The life is like this. And that is why we should not think about it. Because by thinking what is going to happen, you tell me. Just as a jnani does not care about where the body is going to fall or when it is going to fall, we also should stop worrying about it. We should stop worrying about it. Let it fall whenever it has to fall, wherever it has to fall, however it has to fall. Nothing is in our hand. The only thing is in our hand is focus on God. That we should do. Let the rest be taken care. Okay? That is what is actual freedom. Okay? Shankaracharya continues, next verse. Dehasya moksho no mokshaha.
Dehasya moksho no mokshaha.
Nadandasya kamandaloho.
Nadandasya kamandaloho.
Avidya hridaya granthi.
Avidya hridaya granthi.
Moksho yatastataha. Dehasya moksho no mokshaha nadandasya kamandaloho avidya hridaya granthi moksho yatastataha. Dehasya mokshaha na mokshaha. Dropping of the body is not liberation. Na dandasya. Giving up of danda is also not liberation. Na kamandaloho, and not even giving up of kamandalu. What is this danda kamandalu? After sannyasa, which is the final ashrama, a dandadhari sannyasi is supposed to carry only two things, kamandalu and danda. Recently, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's 108 feet statue is being inaugurated, no? Just few days back, 3 days back. There also you will see one hand kamandalu is there, another hand danda is there. It's a mark of a sannyasi. Okay. Now you give up danda also. There is a mention of giving up of danda also. Even after sannyasa, to become parivrajaka, etc., you give up danda also. That also a kind of thing is there in Jivan Mukti Viveka, etc. We'll see. The point is what? You give up that, you give up kamandalu, you give up body. That is not liberation. Avidya hridaya granthi mokshaha. Yataha, because avidya hridaya granthi mokshaha. The liberation from the knot of the heart, which is called as avidya, ignorance, that is the real liberation. Okay. Avidya hridaya granthi mokshaha tataha. That is the real liberation. So, and therefore, don't worry about giving up. It will fall off. There is a difference between giving up and falling off. Giving up means we have to give up. What is it that we have to give up? We have to give up the desires. We have to give up all the other things that we have, that will take us outside towards the world. That is, we have to give up. We have to give up ego. What will fall off? The body will fall off. You don't have to give up. Okay? And that's why don't worry about it. Where it is falling, it does not matter. Next verse, 560. Kulyayamath nadyam va
कुल्यायामथनद्यां वा
शिवक्षेत्रेऽपि चत्वरे. You are on mute, Amma. You are on mute.
हरि ओम्
Ah.
शिवक्षेत्रेऽपि चत्वरे
पर्णं पतति चेत्तेन
पर्णं पतति चेतेन
तरोः किं नु शुभाशुभम्.
तरोः किं नु शुभाशुभम्
कुल्यायामथ नद्यां वा शिवक्षेत्रेऽपि चत्वरे. पर्णं पतति चेत्तेन तरोः किं नु शुभाशुभम्. Kulyayam in the stream or small canal is there, or ditch. Everything is the meaning of kulyayam. Roadside small ditch is there or canal is there. Whether it falls in that nadyam va, or in a river, holy river Gangaji, etc. Shivakshetre, or in the holy place of Lord Shiva, Varanasi, Kashi, etc. Api Chattvare. Chattvare means crossroad, where four roads come and meet, no? Whether it falls in that crossroad. Paranam patati chet. If the leaf falls in a ditch, or a river, or in a great holy place, or in a crossroad. Taroho kimnu shubhashubham. For the tree, what is good or evil, etc., those kind of things are not there. In the same way, for the jnani, whether the body falls in a ditch or a river or in the most auspicious place or in just a crossroad, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to that jnani at all. Okay. One more verse we will see so that the topic gets over. Verse number 561. Patrasya pushpasya phalasya nashavat
पत्रस्य पुष्पस्य फलस्य नाशवत्
देहेन्द्रिय pranadhiyam vinashah
देहेन्द्रियप्राणधियां विनाशः
नैवात्मनस्वस्य सदात्मकस्य
नैवात्मनस्वस्य सदात्मकस्य
आनन्दाकृतेर्वृक्षवदस्ति चैषः
आनन्दाकृते वृक्षवदस्ति चैषः
पत्रस्य पुष्पस्य फलस्य नाशवत् देहेन्द्रियप्राणधियां विनाशः नैवात्मनस्वस्य सदात्मकस्यानन्दाकृतेर्वृक्षवदस्ति चैषः. पत्रस्य पुष्पस्य फलस्य नाशवत्. Nashawat, like the destruction of patra, leaf, pushpa, flower, phala, fruit. Like the destruction of all these small things of the tree, deha indriya prana dhyam vinashah. Destruction of body, senses, pranas, mind, intellect, etc. Atmanah swasya sadatmakasya anandakrutehe na eva. The destruction of the instruments is not the destruction of the self. Atmanah swasya. The destruction is never of one's own self. Sadatmakasya, who is ever as self. Anandakrutehe, who is of the nature of bliss. It is not the destruction of the self. Eshaha cha vrikshavat asti. This jnani is like that tree. What? Patra falls, leaf falls, flower, pushpa falls, or phala, fruit falls, it doesn't matter. The tree remains like a tree. In the same way, Jivan Mukta, the Jnani, remains like a Jnani. The body may fall, Indriyas may fall off, mind, intellect, all the upadhis may fall off. Jnani is Jnani. So this Jivan Mukta becoming Videha Mukta is the distinction made by ignorant people for our convenience of explanation of the Shastra. Not for any kind of distinction in Jnani. For the Jnani, he doesn't care where, when, how the upadhis are going to fall. Why? Because for him, upadhis are destroyed at the very moment of realization. Therefore, he doesn't care. He doesn't care because the destruction of upadhis is not there for the Jnani. The destruction has already happened. It has already happened. Now he doesn't care. Okay, that is how he is. Now, such a Jnani, what happens? We'll continue in the next session. Okay, last 2 sessions now. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.